Welcome, board members. The boardroom is once again open for Shelf Talk, and today we're talking about Magical Athlete by Takashi Ishida and Zman Games. This game does not get nearly enough love. It is so fun, so funny, so lighthearted, friends and family friendly for the family. It's a great game about racing with mythical and fantastical and magical creatures. Magical Athlete is really a game of two different parts. The first part is drafting a team of runners for 5 different races to run a race during the second part of the game. For 4 players, each player is given 8 coins with which to purchase or draft their runner team. You can see here the Medusa is 0 coins, the Spy is 1, the Merchant is 2, the Pirate is 3, and the Cupid is 4. If you really like that pirate, you can pay 3 coins and take him, and then the Cupid gets cheaper for the next player. Then the new runner is drawn and placed at the 4 slot. Eventually, once you've spent all your coins and you don't have 5 runners yet, you're going to have to take who's ever in the 0 spot. That would be, in this case, Medusa, giving the Spy the free slot for the next player. And then another card is drawn from the runner deck, and it's the Necromancer. Keep doing this until each player has drawn or drafted 5 runners. Then you move on to the race itself. Now it's time for the races. There are going to be 5 races in total, 1 for each of your drafted runners. At the beginning of each race, take a look at your hand of runners, select one face down, and choose it for the current race. Once everybody has chosen their runner face down, reveal them all face up simultaneously and line them up at the starting line. Choose a start player randomly, and all you do is roll the die and go that many spaces. In this particular instance, the martial artist goes 1. Then the witch can go, and the witch is going to go 3. 1, 2, 3. Then the spy will go 3. 1, 2, 3. Then the demon will go. The demon goes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it seems like a roll and move game, which in essence it is, but when you start to add the special abilities of all these different creatures and people, that's when the game gets really fun. For example, the witch, when the demon just overtook her space, the witch says when you're overtaken by another character, you can cast a spell to make him rest for his next turn. They lose a turn, but you must move 1 space back for this bad deed. So basically, if you ever pass the witch, she can make you miss your entire next turn only by sacrificing 1 space of movement. So let's continue the round. The martial artist. It does not need to count the space occupied by other characters during movement. So, they roll a 4. They don't have to count this space, or this space. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that martial artist gets a really good ability. The spy, well, their ability would have happened during the beginning of the race. When the spy is on your team and has not raced yet, you can look at the selection of other racers from other players before you make your selection. So the spy can look at everybody else's face-down player and then choose a runner up front, from their hand to run in that race against those specific players. Now the demon can start to use their ability beginning on any other player's turn. When another character rolls a die, you can reduce the result by 1. The decision is done before the die is rolled, and the minimum result is 1. So if they roll a 1, they can't be a 0. You keep doing this until all the runners, until 2 runners have made it to the goal. Because points are awarded depending on the round of the race, first, second, and third place actually, so 3 runners. For example, the first race, 3 points. Oh no, it is only first and second place. First race, 3 points for the first place runner and 1 point for second place runner. As the races continue, the points get higher in value. 4 points for first place and 2 points for second place in the second and third races. Then the fourth and final race, it's 5 points for first and 3 points for second. And each athlete's only going to run once during the game, so make sure that you choose wisely when drafting these runners. So let's talk about all the different abilities for these different runners. There's like 20, but I don't mind going over them because this game is so fun. Now we've already met the martial artist, and the witch, and the spy, the demon. So what does the troll do? The troll has a duty ability, which means it happens every time it triggers every time it happens. When you share a space with another character, the other character must move backward 1 space. So 1, 2, if the troll rolled a 2, knocks the Medusa back 1 space. What does the Medusa have to say about that? Well, if this were the case, line it up like so. If the troll rolled a 2, 1, 2, thus knocking the Medusa back 1 space, the Medusa, when you share a space with another character, you can cast a spell to make them rest for their next turn. So it would negate the Amazon's next turn. Now the Amazon ability says instead of your turn, you can advance 5 spaces. So they never need to roll. They're just going to go 5 spaces, which in itself sounds pretty powerful until you consider the merchant. Merchant's here. And let's say the turn came around where Amazon could finally use their turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Instead of rolling, the merchant, instead of your turn, you can exchange places with another character. So they will just go ahead and swap. This poor Amazon is taking a beating. And that's what the merchant does. Now the pirate doesn't like that the merchant got so far ahead. So at the start of their turn, they can kidnap another character and move them to your space. Come back here, merchant. You're not going anywhere. So you can see how this game gets crazier and crazier. The siren was on the board. And in the lead, it pulls everybody 1 space toward her. If the siren, however, was in the back, it pulls everyone 1 space back toward her. And of course, in the middle, it would pull everybody 1 space toward her. The Gladiator, of course, is going to challenge somebody when they share a space. You and the opponent roll a die and compare the results. If your roll is higher or equal to the opponent's roll, you can advance 2 spaces. If your opponent rolls higher, they can instead advance 2 spaces. So you do a roll-off, and whoever wins gets to go 2 spaces. The Cupid, whenever a male character and a female character share a space, the Cupid can advance 5 spaces. So there are male and female characters noted by the blue and pink dots on the cards, so you can tell whether there's a male or female character. The Centaur has the ability, whenever they overtake a character, they knock them back 1 space. So they just kind of back kick them on their way through. Makes for a pretty big target on their back. The Ninja can shadow other characters, basically ride piggyback. When they start their turn in the same space, when another character starts their turn in the same space as a ninja, the ninja can claim shadowing. So they would shadow the Amazon, and the Amazon goes 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the ninja went along for the ride. That Amazon was none the wiser. A prophet. This one's kind of unique. When the race you're in starts, you make a secret prophecy. Write 1 character's name down on a piece of paper, and if that character wins 1st place, then the prophet automatically wins 2nd place. So it's a good one to put into play when somebody else has put in the Amazon. Now the thief. Thief does what thieves do. The thief is going to steal, at the beginning of the race, 1 victory point from a player of your choice. So it doesn't do anything during the race, it does it at the start of the race. The ranger is kind of nice. If you're prone to rolling 1s or 2s, the ranger is your guy. If you roll a 1 or a 2, it's treated as a 4 instead. So a 1, a 2, and a 4, 5, or 6 are all 4 or higher. The only thing you don't want to roll with a ranger is a 3. The assassin. The assassin has no race ability. The assassin comes into play during the draft. After the draft, you can assassinate 1 character of your choice. It's removed from the game and randomly replaced by 1 of the removed 5 cards. So this is at the end of the draft. Once all runners have been drafted, the assassin can take out any one, Amazon, or martial artist, whoever, and then that player who lost the martial artist or Amazon or whatever was assassinated gets to draw 1 random from the deck, and that's the replaced character. Now the priest. At the start of your turn, you can advance the priest by 2 spaces, then you can advance a last place character by 2 spaces, and then advance by 1 for doing this good deed. So if the prophet's in the back, you can move the prophet forward 2, and you get to move yourself forward 1. Necromancer. Instead of your turn, you roll a die and move one character of your choice backwards by that number rolled. Then you may advance one space. So that necromancer could pick this centaur, which would be a bad idea because the centaur will knock everybody back. So let's say the ninja. Ninja moves back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The necromancer moves forward 1. Not a bad trade-off. Philosopher. When a character uses their special ability, you can cancel the effect of that ability. Then this character gets to move one space forward in compensation. So that philosopher is just basically going to think its way to the front of the line. The Ghoul. When another character rolls a 1 for their turn, the Ghoul gets to advance 1, and that character that rolled the 1 does not advance at all. The Bard. When any other character rolls a 6, the Bard can move forward 1 by cheering them on. Conjurer. After rolling the die for your turn, you can re-roll it once if you desire. The new result is the one you have to use. So, in the case of a 1, it's not a bad choice. Maybe a 2 or 3 is kind of risky. But you get to re-roll a die, but you have to use the new roll. And last but not least is the Druid. When a character uses their special ability, the Druid just gets to automatically advance 1 space. So those are all the different runners for the game Magical Athlete. I like this game. I really like this game. I've had so much fun with this game. I've played it with many of the patrons at our game store. I've played it with many, many, many friends, many family members. It's just all around a fun game. Thanks so much for watching today's episode of Shelf Talk. And as always, we'll see you at the next boardroom meeting.